Kremlin media announces Russian troop withdrawal from Kherson region. Immediately deletes it.
Here's a summary of the article.
Kremlin media on Monday morning announced that Moscow had decided to regroup its forces in the Kherson region, in reports that were swiftly retracted. Having assessed the situation, the command of the Dnipro group decided to move the troops to more advantageous positions east of the Dnipro, the Russian media outlets TASS and RIA Novosti had written. Similar language had been used to announce previous Russian troop retreats in the wake of Ukrainian attacks last year from parts of the Kharkiv and Kherson regions that Russia had occupied at the beginning of its February 2022 Ukraine invasion. Ukraine's National Resistance Center reported it had not seen any evidence of Russian troop movements in the area, saying, "Thus, we can conclude that an information operation against Ukraine is currently underway." Russia currently faces a challenging situation in the region as Ukrainian forces have managed to establish and hold a significant bridgehead on the left bank of Dnipro River in the Kherson region. The ISW reported that the Russian military command will likely find it difficult to transfer combat-capable reinforcements to respond to the Ukrainian operations. At the same time, according to British intelligence, the Russian military's ability, or lack thereof, to intensively use artillery will be a decisive factor in the battle for the east bank of the Dnipro River.
This post received a score of 4,700, with an upvote ratio of 97%. Here are the top comments in response to this article.
Next up, Russia advances rearwards in special operation against Ukraine.
We are withdrawing our withdrawal notice.
Lol, reminds me of something from JSTAR Studios. I want to apologize for apologizing to you.
Putin painted himself into a corner by annexing Kherson and Zaporizhzhia. Had he not, he could have claimed it was a necessary tactic to allow Donetsk and Luhansk to be captured. Realistically, he probably could have eventually captured the entire Donbas and held Crimea if he had done that. Now he's stuck defending halves of two oblasts that he has no real hopes of fully conquering. Mentally inserting paper skies, but Russia would not be Russia if.
It was a hell of a gamble, considering they were in the middle of being pushed out of Kherson when he did it, and they never occupied the city of Zaporizhzhia. He was essentially betting on not only being able to halt the Ukrainian advance, but to be able to reverse it and push further than they had been able to previously, and this was in September last year, well beyond the time after everyone realized what a horrible state the Russian military was in. A pretty fucking stupid bet if you ask me, even without the benefit of hindsight.
While it is true that the Donbas has plenty of oil they would like to drill, this has always been about Crimea. Russia has always needed a land bridge to Crimea in order to support it. Crimea not only has more oil than Donbas, but it is also about the Sevastopol naval base. Honestly, I don't think either Russia or even Ukraine thinks too much about Donetsk or Luhansk, at least not enough to spill the amount of blood and treasure they have been the past 18 months.
I think people try to rationalize Russia's behavior too much. Argument is more complex. I think people would maybe rationalize giving up Crimea more. Regardless, we cannot trust any deal made by Russia unless there is a promise for immediate NATO ascension. Russia breaks every agreement we make with them. They cannot be trusted.
It simplifies many decisions. Anyone claiming Ukraine should negotiate with Russia is either ignorant or bootlickers. Russia isn't stopping by themselves, so unless NATO gets directly involved, this end when Russia can't fight anymore.
Greater than the Russian telegram channel Istorozno, Novosti, with reference to its source at RIA Novosti, wrote that the state news agency could have received information about the transfer of military personnel from a fake Ministry of Defense account, probably operated from the territory of Ukraine.
This video was automatically created by Reddit to speech. The article and comments in this video were selected from Reddit according to their upvotes, and any paraphrasing was performed by smmry.com, without any human intervention.